What's going on, everybody? It's the Gas Holes Podcast, episode 9, I think. We kind of tried this, starting this on Wednesday. If you watched the vlog, you might have seen it. You might have saw our setup. We'll talk about it. How's Travis? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
You showing any COVID-19 symptoms after Bristol?
No, I'm not. Thankfully.
Hey, me either.
Yeah. But I mean, I've just been home anyway. But
Yeah,
I
same.
feel fine. I feel good. I what did I eat? Either way, I ate something that went right through me the other day. But other than that, I've been great.
Oh, okay.
That night in the hotel, remember where I had to scramble?
Not really. No.
Oh, well, it was after the All-Star race. I hadn't really eaten anything, but I still ended up hadn't eaten anything besides that morning. Whatever I ate for breakfast that morning went through me late at night.
Ooh. How did
Yeah.
you pooed before we got on? How did that go?
That didn't go. I mean, that didn't go bad. That was just probably your average poop.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I have a really bad diet, so like sometimes my pooping can get really intense. But that one was pretty good. The Bristol one wasn't like extremely intense. It was just like it came on quick. It wasn't like it was solid. It just came on quick. That was the thing. And usually, I don't know. It was just it was a memorable one.
Sometimes you stand up real quick, and then all of a sudden it just like just goes. Right
Yeah,
down.
like I gotta poop turned into I'm gonna poop, so I had to find somewhere to poop. And luckily we were in a hotel room.
All right, well, yeah. So if you didn't hear, we were both at Bristol over. I was about to say the weekend, but it wasn't the weekend. It was Wednesday, which is weird. Yeah. So we had the Bristol night All-Star race this Wednesday, July 15th. I'm recording this for July 19th, Sunday. How you doing? 2020. We're still hanging in there. So yeah, so we both drove there on Wednesday. We got to the hotel, and we were originally going to record Gas Holes there. Not another location kind of thing. We both kind of got settled there around 2 o'clock, and the parking lots were open at 3, so we didn't have a whole lot of time. And well, we tried setting it up. It wasn't pretty, but I mean, you could see the entire setup on the Bristol vlog. And
She wasn't pretty. She wasn't much, but she was honest work. And then you want to explain why they're not seeing it?
I don't know. I mean, that's mostly why. I mean, okay, I didn't click the record button. I had a lot going on that day. It's just busy, and I had everything. I had the GoPro going, and honestly, I probably could have used that. I had the Go. Oh, jeez, we were gonna do video again, and I was gonna use the same GoPro I used when we did it the first time. And basically, what I did, I took the head strap and I strapped it around one of the light bulbs in the room, like the middle of the beds, and that was our video. And that's to be honest, recording this right now, I have not looked at it, so it might have been usable, but it's just not worth it. All we really talked about was our picks and how excited we were, and that was really bad. Who did you pick?
I think I picked Blaney.
Yeah, I picked Kurt Busch, and my pick ate 8 laps into the event. So best that doesn't see the light of day, but the light of day. It's not light of day, light of day. Yeah. So after that, we just went to the track, and then we roasted all day. It was hot as shit.
Hotter than hell.
I originally said it wasn't as bad as Dega, but it got worse than Dega. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
When we got there, we almost parked with the drivers.
That is true.
Because we missed. So there was free parking that wasn't free, and we'll get to that. But we ended up going down the road and pulling in. I mean, the cops waved us in, so we went in, and then we saw like credential check or whatever. And in front of us was Chris Buescher in a big jacked up F-250. And we get up there, I roll down my window, and right as I'm about to say, hey, we're in the wrong spot, they're like, you're in the wrong spot. And I'm like, God damn, you don't have to be that mean. Like, I know I'm in the wrong spot. And how do you know I don't work for somebody? Just because I look homeless doesn't mean I am. But no, I had to pull a big U-turn right there, and we ended up going down the road to the free parking that was only free if you drove a Toyota. And I tried to tell the guy I had a Toyota motor in my F-150, and he didn't buy it. He said, "Yeah, and I'm French." So I paid him, and we got down there. We parked. We sat there for a second, and then we wanted to explore, and we got out, masks on, and everything. Because here, let me talk about this for a second. So when we went to Dega was there were a lot less people, and Dega is just a lot bigger. So we go in there and they run everybody through the same spot, and you get to one checkpoint and they check and see if you have tickets and if you have a mask. And then the second checkpoint, you have to have your mask on, and they did a temperature check and gave you a wristband saying that you, I guess, passed the temperature check or whatever. And then they sent you and made you park in certain spots. Not certain like specific parking spots, but specific lots around. Like they didn't want to fill them up. Bristol wasn't like that. You pulled in, you paid, you parked, and it was just like a normal race. And we hopped out with our masks on just because of how Dago was. Dago was the first time back too, with a lot of fans there. So obviously everybody was really taking it serious. And we had kind of said on the podcast after that they didn't like enforce it, but they did enforce it to an extent. It was just kind of like once we were in the stands and there was a rain delay, then it kind of got lax.
They had Bristol, little signs.
Yeah, they had little signs. Bristol, we got out, we walked down one row of cars, we looked around, and we didn't see a mask anywhere. I mean, not out there in the parking lot. People playing cornhole, grilling out. So, I mean, at that point, we kind of knew how the night was going to go.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. It was just so fucking hot, man. And, like, I don't know if that's a great excuse, but most importantly, like, it's the only people who have a problem with it is the people who weren't there. Everybody there, man, it was so fucking hot. And nobody's wearing a fucking, especially since you're outside. Now, don't get me wrong. You should be wearing a mask. Everybody should probably be wearing a mask. At least you can do. But if you're outside like we were, we didn't find a problem. We were just kind of walking around looking at things, kind of ducked in a couple of tents here and there. But yeah, I mean, if you're out and about, like outside, we weren't really around any people. I mean, we were walking around. There was just a whole lot of tents and stuff you could buy. I mean, yeah.
And when we were in the line to go in, we had our masks on because you had to.
And to get concessions and stuff.
Yeah, we wore ours down to get concessions. Walking in the track, when we got to the fence over there, I pulled mine down to make a video. And that's another thing. I think a lot of people were seeing, like, whether it was the video of me or I'm sure we'll have people talking about the vlogs and stuff of all the YouTubers who were vlogging out there. When you only see people vlogging, most of the time they're going to pull their mask down. You know what I mean? So if you're just looking at it from and not being there, it's going to look a lot worse than it was.
Yeah.
I'd say outside the track, like in the parking lot and stuff, yeah, it was pretty bad. Like nobody was wearing masks. But as far as like the line, like when we were really grouped up, even at like the meetup at the Bristol sign, everybody had their mask on. It was really just after the race when Chase won and everybody by that point had just forgotten about the pandemic. And then before the race when everybody was out in the parking lot cooking to death in their own little groups, nobody had masks on, if that makes sense. So it wasn't near as bad as I think people made it out to be.
It never is. People should just shut the fuck up if they're not a part of anything. Can I just put that out there? Like, if you see, like, if you didn't go to Bristol and all these people did, and you and all you see is what people post and this and that, and you're not actually there, you should shut the fuck up. You should look at it. Yeah. If you have an opinion on it, shut the fuck up and keep it to yourself because you weren't there.
They had me on the Garage Guys Fantasy Podcast or whatever after the Bristol deal, and it's kind of what I was telling them, where a lot of people woke up that day just looking to be angry because they knew there was a race with 30,000 people. You know what I mean? And some people have just gone nuts about this thing. And it's like, I get it to an extent because it's like, okay, my whole opinion on the thing is it's a NASCAR race. Nobody has to be there. If you don't like it, don't go. And that's how I felt. I knew going in, I was like, I knew people probably weren't going to wear many masks. And I knew I was coming home and staying home for, the next fucking month anyway. So it didn't really make that big of a deal to me. But some people just wanted to be mad. And where it does kind of get fuzzy, and I can get why people would be mad, is not everybody's like me and you. Not everybody can come home and be home for a month or whatever we're gonna be. Some
Mm.
people left Bristol and went to work the next day after acting like an idiot. So it's like, okay, I kind of get it then. But for the most part, I mean, the beaches are open in fucking Florida, and there's way more people down there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that a NASCAR race is gonna end the world.
I certainly hope not.
Yeah, I would hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a fucking medical degree, so I don't know if we should be able to run Bristol or not. But what I do know is that, like, if
It happened, so I went.
it happened, absolutely. They sold tickets, I bought them, and I went. And that's the risk you take. I was willing to take the risk. I'm not gonna be seeing anybody. I'm gonna be staying the fuck home. I work from home, so it's like, what the fuck, fuck it. If I want to go to a race, I should be able to go to a race. I mean, not everybody has those circumstances, and I understand that. And certainly not everybody wants to risk going and catching it. That's cool. Don't go. But I fucking went, and I had a great time. And it's just nice to have a day where you just sat there, and it was like that when I went to Indy and even Talladega. It's just nice to go out, watch a race, watch some racing during the day, and just fucking forget about all the bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man. If any of y'all get a chance to go to a race, fucking go. Unless you want to, don't want to get the COVID. But, I mean, fuck, man. It's just so nice to go out and do something and be a part of something and just be at an event and just fucking forget about all the horse shit for a couple of hours. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's my whole deal. Like, I'm not going to make fun of anybody or call them an idiot if they don't want to, or say they're living in fear or whatever, if they don't want to go. My only gripe are the people who woke up that day wanting to be mad about there being a race. You know what I mean? They were scrolling through Twitter just looking for people. Like, people who were coming after me, man. I'd go through a lot of their profiles, and it was just it's actually when I started to feel a little better, knowing that the hate wasn't all at me. They were hating on everybody they could find, and it's just like, man, if you weren't there, you really don't know how it went. Obviously, I saw some things I didn't like the post race deal with the dog pile on the fence. It's like, okay, that's kind of a bad look, especially to be on live television.
Yeah.
But other than that, there weren't too many situations. Like, I never really felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, I certainly didn't. I mean, that's the thing though. Like if you're gonna let 25,000 people in a facility like Bristol, I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do about everybody ganging up on
You
the
had
fence?
to be a fucking idiot to think that things were gonna go perfect. Like, you really did. Like, if you thought, I saw people say that they were ashamed that they went, and it's like, I'd be ashamed if I was a fucking moron too, because how could you think that they were gonna get 25,000 motherfuckers in that place and you weren't gonna have to be near somebody? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
When you put it like that, man, it makes people really seem fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shit.
it's like, goes back to what I said. Like, if you had to be at work on Thursday, you probably shouldn't have gone. But somebody like me and you, I don't get it. I don't get it. I literally, I didn't have to stop for gas or anything. I got my truck, left the hotel, got home that night.
Oh, I did. I don't get quite the fuel economy that you do, but
yeah. Well,
hey, I made it.
I'm canceling you because you don't have the fuel mileage.
I made it there and back though without any of my tires going flat or falling off, so I'm really proud of that. Without a spare tire too. That was a fucking terrifying 5-hour drive there and back, just making sure nothing stupid happened, because if it did, I'd be fucked. But yeah, I had a phenomenal time. It was hot as shit, and I sweat a lot. That was the most I had sweat in a long time. I'm not usually a sweaty person, but good lord, man, it was hot as shit. Shout out to that one guy though who dropped his wallet. You remember that? And you pointed it out.
Yeah. So we're over there at the Bristol sign, and I think it was right after the big like Twitter YouTuber meetup thing. I don't know. Me and you kind of stood to the side. Nobody noticed us, but they all had their little deal or whatever, and they went up there and had the picture on the Bristol sign, and some dude was walking by, and I guess he got his camera out to take a picture, and he had beer in his pocket. And no. Well, he did have beer in his pocket, but he had his phone in another pocket. Either way, when he pulled his phone out to take the picture, his wallet fell out, and I was like, "Hey, man, you dropped your wallet." And he turned around and got it. He was like, "You're the man." And he started to hand me a beer, and I'm like, "Well, I don't drink." And he's like, "Oh," and I was like, "But he does." Point to Cozy, so he gave Cozy the beer. So I got the guy his wallet and Cozy a beer. So
Oh,
I'm a hero, really, if you think
fucking
about it.
absolute fucking hero right
That's
there.
the stuff you don't see on Twitter. People were mad at me. They didn't see me finding the guy's wallet, getting my friend beer.
Yeah, that's right. And that one hit the fucking spot. Holy shit, man. Miller Lite too, baby. That was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap beer. It wasn't like it was a cheap beer. It was a good beer. I really don't know. I don't drink beer, so I don't know. But Miller Lite cans look cool, so I'd imagine they're good.
That's my go-to right there. But hell yeah, I'm glad he got his fucking wallet, and I appreciate him sharing his beer. But yeah, it was yeah, that whole YouTube meetup thing. That was really awkward because there was a like huge ass group of people, and I don't really do good with. I was telling you that whole day. I was like, dude, I'm fucking terrified of meeting people. That's the thing. I've been to a lot of races, and especially in the last like year or two, where a lot of YouTube people have gotten bigger, and the whole like community between YouTube and Twitter and all this stuff. So now, like when there's a big race like that, there was a shitload of people there, and I was just fucking terrified of meeting groups of people and this and that, and we just kind of stood off. They got a nice little picture though. That was really sweet. It was funny though watching everybody take their profile pictures on that big ass Bristol sign.
Yeah, I met some people over. I went over to see Champagne, who actually had a really funny video of him come out where he was flipping off McDowell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to go up there and stand elbow to asshole with a bunch of people to get a picture. Not because of COVID. I wouldn't want to do that under normal circumstances. But I was surprised actually. I got recognized by like 3 people while I was there, so that was pretty good. I still had to take a couple pictures for Cozy.
Yeah.
Even some of them still knew who I was. They're like, all right, take a picture of me and Cozy. I'm like, all right, well, maybe one day.
Yeah, I do want to take a second. Thank you, everybody, to stop me and say hello. I really like meeting those who watch the channel and all that stuff. However, though, big crowds do freak me the fuck out. Just talking to people here and there, it's very neat, especially when they watch the channel, and they were all really nice, and they were all had some great things to say. So I appreciate everybody who stopped me and said hello. I wish I could have met everybody, because there's always people who are like, you were at this race, I didn't see you. And I got a lot of those too. But yeah, I appreciate everybody, and it's a good time. Hope you all enjoyed the race. If any of you guys are listening, we did get a handful of people that were like, yeah, we who is the one that said you made a joke afterwards. He said I love gas holes and tits.
Oh yeah, it was So he walked up with his dad, I believe, and he's in the vlog. In your vlog, and his dad was standing there. I don't know if his dad really knew who we were, but he's like, yeah, I love gas holes and I love tits. And it's like, man, that poor dad over there, he don't understand the reference there. That kid's probably getting a talking to on the ride home. So hopefully dad understood. Maybe your dad's listening if you're listening. But yeah, that was pretty funny. It was cool. It was more than 3 people who knew who I was, but it was yeah, it's really cool to meet people who pretty much everybody that I remember coming up mentioned gas holes, so that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess we're doing something right with this. I'm surprised we made it 9 episodes or whatever the hell we're on.
That's right. We gotta do something special for our 10th episode. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Should we get a cake?
Yeah, get a cake or something. I don't know.
Maybe cupcakes. Maybe I think cupcakes might be more appropriate. We can get a cake for like our 100th episode.
Yeah, cupcakes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we I wonder how many people passed out at Bristol, because there was at least 2, right?
That's your outdoor event starter pack. Fat people giving the fuck out, man. It just, I hate it. It's not a laughing matter, but it's like, man, I can't go, whether you go to a festival, a concert, whatever, they just start giving out left and right. And that's what we saw there on that day. I mean, at least 1 an hour, you hear the ambulance or the cart, or sometimes they whoop out the meat wagon, so they come tearing through the damn parking lot, and somebody's done give out over there, and they're all sweaty. And we saw a handful of them while we were there. We saw one in the ticket line about kill over. People were walking by and were like, "You all right, bud?" He's like, No. I mean, I was legitimately concerned about that dude. I thought we were losing him there for a second. They had to get the ambulance over there for him. I don't know if they whooped out the paddles or anything, but I think they hauled him off because he needed fluids and he needed them quick. But man, people were giving out left and right. It was bad. It was hot.
It was fucking hot. They I'm fucking crying. It's not funny, but it's really fucking funny. I don't know. Fat people are funny to me, and there was this big old guy, and he was sitting there in the shade up against the wall, and he was just huffing and puffing, and I knew he was having. We were all having a rough day, but him especially. And everybody knew what was going on. And with that one guy asked him, he's like, "You doing all right?" He's like, "No, no, I'm not." His face, man, said it all.
Yeah, he had a rough day, so hopefully he got it sorted. And I mean, man, that'll probably be me one day. I mean, I about gave out going up a damn steps.
It'll probably be me too. I'm gonna be a 5'7" fucking bowling ball, and I'm gonna be sitting there. I'll probably pass. I don't know. I'll probably be in my mid-30s by the time I fucking pass out of my first racing event or whatever. But yeah, there's a couple of, yeah, it was like every 45 minutes we heard the fucking ambulance start up.
I really think a lot of it is people drink a lot of beer and forget to drink water.
That's part of the problem.
I really do. And I think like you get these big people who, just getting around's a little tougher for them. They get a little more worked up and they've been drinking beer all day and they're not really properly hydrated. Like hydration's important. That's like one of the biggest things I'll tell anybody going to a NASCAR race, especially like in the summer. But even like there's been years at Martinsville in the fall, like you get hot, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You have to remember to stay hydrated. So stay hydrated, folks, and you won't be giving out in the ticket line or whatever like we saw.
Wonder. Water is very underrated, ladies and gentlemen, especially like, man, it was hot as fuck. And we were just sitting there. Like, there's nothing better to do. Like, you got to fucking walk around all damn day until they let you in. And that was the thing. Since we were in the upper bowl, they let us in at the latest time, which was like 5:40. So we got there at like 3:30 maybe. And we had to sit, we were just walking around for 2 hours in the fucking, what was it, like 95 degrees? It was fucking hot as shit.
Yeah, it was hot. There's no way around it. Like I said, I could see why people were giving out, but it's just, we had already talked about it, man. Anytime you go to an event, there's always those people that just give out. They have to,
there's always
haul
one.
Them off. At least one.
Anyways, yes, we eventually made it in. They didn't do any temperature checks, which I guess I understand why they did, because there was 25,000 of us, and I think you said they'd run out of batteries. But that probably would have been a little bit smarter to have a temperature check. Like if anybody, had a fever or something, that would have been a good way to tell, and didn't let them in. That probably would have, if you're gonna spread something like a virus.
That was just my guess. Like I'm sure they could have done it. It would have just been. I feel like in their mind, it probably would have been more of a clusterfuck to do that. Like the way they did it, they just kind of ran everybody through and let them get to their seats. Yeah, which I mean, kind of worked. Like I said, man, till the end, we were never really in a giant ass group till the very end.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, it's not. I mean, Bristol's a little bit harder, at least compared to Talladega, but. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. And we got in there and, I think we both about passed out trying to walk up the damn steps.
Yeah, I thought I was going to end up like Buddy outside there for a whole bit. I mean, I got up there and I gave out. I mean, it took me a solid 5 minutes to collect myself. That was a hike. That's the steepest like incline of steps I think I've ever done. It's way steeper than like Martinsville or any of the other tracks I've been through. I mean, it's like straight up. It was something. It was something. Davey had told me about that because I was saying I didn't think we were high enough. He's like, no, dude, if you're like row 10 or above, you're high enough because it's straight up. And I was like, nah, there's no way it's that straight up. But I hit about row 15. I was like, you know what? Those lower bowl seats, maybe they were the better deal.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get like 15 rows up and you start huffing and puffing, and then like 20 rows up you start feeling it in your thighs, and then after that, man, it's like good luck. You just start running out of steam. Yeah, it's so weird. That was like I'd only been there once, and that was the one thing I like for sure remembered. And when I was there in 2013, we were sitting way the fuck up there. And I remember when I got up there, I didn't leave until the race was over. I mean, it's crazy. If you've never been to Bristol, the steps are fucking steep. I mean, it's like you're walking straight fucking up. And it's You might want to train a little bit before you go.
Yeah.
Uh, but I want to take a second. Bristol had really underrated chicken tenders. They were really good. I know you were gonna get some, I think, and you never got any because they didn't have. What happened? You went through the damn line and you got all the way
So
through.
yeah, so this really chapped my ass. So I did a live stream from Bristol, and I got up and went to the concession stand, and actually I had to stop. I got to get a more convenient mask, I will say, because mine I have to take off and put back on. But anyway, got my mask on, went over there, stood in the line, and that it was a little crowded out there, but I'd say it was probably 50-50 in our section on mask wearing out there. Um, and I got waters that time, and it was pretty slow, but I didn't think anything of it. Well, anyway, I got hungry because I had only eaten like I forget what I had for breakfast, but it didn't really fill me up. And um, got to the track. I was hungry all day. Had a hot dog, I think, in the parking lot from one of those trailers or whatever. But anyway, go back, and then I saw those chicken tenders, and damn, they looked good. So I wanted to go get some. So I went and stood in that line again. It took them forever. I tweeted about it, had somebody get mad at me, say, "Well, the food workers are they're out of practice or something." And I'm like, dude, it's not that hard to grab. They had water and beer, or no, they ran out of water, so they had Coke and beer. It was in two coolers. It shouldn't be that hard. I get up there. Turns out they weren't serving food at that one, and they point me to the one that is serving food, and the line's double as long as the one I just stood in. And I knew if they were going the same speed as the one I was in, I damn sure wasn't going to get to see any of the All-Star race if I went and stood in that line. So I just gave up. I went hungry. The concessions by far the worst. And I know it's weird circumstances right now, but Rusty and Cody told me that Bristol concessions are the worst concessions in all of events. Terrible. So
Yeah,
I believe it.
I gotta say, I've been to a lot of tracks, and I can't think of any that was worse. I mean, I went in there before the All Star Open. It was like, what the hell did I have to eat on Wednesday? It was I thought I had like an egg and cheese McMuffin in my freezer, and I fucking didn't. All I had was a little hot pocket thing, and I fucking ate that instead on the way, and that was it. And I got all the way to the All Star Open that evening, and I was like, I gotta eat something here. I gotta get some food before this shit gets going. And I left. I got up, and it was like 30 minutes. I was like, this is when it's starting. It was like 8 o'clock, I think, and it was about 7:30 at the time. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go get some food. And I went up, and I got in line, and it took like 25 minutes to get through the fucking line. And there was not that many people in front of me. There wasn't at all. And I just don't understand what fucking took so long. I do appreciate that they had actual food on Lake Talladega, which kind of sucked. All you had was those like little pre-made sandwiches.
I liked them though; they were good sandwiches.
I mean, they were all right, but whatever.
I liked them.
I mean, cool. I rather would have had a selection, you know. And
I guess.
I got those. I got the fucking tenders. I got a drink, and first off, the fucking tenders were like $8, $8 or $9, or something like that. It was 3 tenders and like 15 fries, maybe. I don't know. You'll see it in the vlog, but like Jesus Christ, I was pissed at the fry count. Anyways, the tenders were actually really good, and I think I gave them like a 7.8. They were actually surprisingly really good, and that's really all I got to say about that. Let's hit the fucking spot. I'll tell you that. The All Star Open, huh?
Well, I just want to elaborate on concessions a little more.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Martinsville, way longer lines, way more frantic, way more people, and I've never waited as long as I waited for them to be out of water as I did at Bristol the other night. So that should put it into perspective. Martinsville can do it good, and Martinsville is usually just high school kids. I will say that one time in that stand outside where that church had done it, those people, I don't know what, they couldn't have found their ass with both hands. They were just running around like chickens with their heads cut off in there. They didn't know what they were doing. I remember actually taking one step total in the line, being there 15 minutes. I left, went and got a drink, and the guy who was in front of me still hadn't moved. So that's the only experience that was worse, was when that church. I wish I could remember what church it was so I could tell you if you see their little plaque. Because Martinsville, I guess to raise money for things, they let people come and do concessions. I don't know how the money's distributed, but they always have little signs outside saying what they're from or where they're from, and it's usually high schools or colleges or churches. I wish I could remember what church to tell you to stay away from if you're buying concessions, because they were terrible. They were awful. But yeah, the Open. We can talk about the Open now.
Well, I was gonna say when we were when I was standing in line for the driver, I was standing there for so long. The driver intro started, and they introduced Quinn as Timmy Hill, who didn't even show up.
Yeah.
They didn't even announce him at all. They didn't even get to him. They just read him as Timmy Hill. Which I thought there was a brief clip. You can't. I had my mask on. You can't really hear me laughing, but I felt bad. But not like it really meant a damn. The All-Star Open. Obviously, you guys know Bubba got his shit dumped, which is fucking horse shit. Do you want to dive into it, or do you want me to? Because I think we're equally pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it just first of all, Bubba got booed in intros, which pissed me off. So I wanted him to do good, and he was coming up through the field. McDowell was dropping like a rock. Bubba, I guess, moved him. I think I saw that in the video. I was looking down trying to get my scanner to work.
Yeah, he bumped him out of the way in 1 and 2, and then he dumped his shit.
Yeah, I looked up right as he was getting hooked, so I didn't initially. I saw McDowell spinning with Bubba, so I was like, I thought maybe Byron had gotten into one of them and caused a wreck or something. I didn't think that. I've seen a lot of people wreck people on purpose. In person even, and aside from Kenseth, who was really just looking to finish the deal,
yeah,
I've never seen somebody do it and fuck up that bad where they destroyed their own car too, because that was just like I don't know. Aside from him right hooking Bubba for just out of an overreaction, it was stupid on his part because it took every chance he had away. You know what I mean? Like McDowell was slow, but he wasn't that bad. Like he was dropping, but that's only because Bubba and Byron and some of those guys were a lot quicker. And there's 3 segments in the whole thing. I don't know why he didn't just fall back and then, dump Bubba later.
He was just mad because he started off that first segment and he led for a while and then he didn't. And then he dropped like a fucking rock. And that was like his only shot at probably transferring. Because nobody likes Michael McDowell. Not like he'd get the fucking fan vote. Not like he'd be even close. Yeah. Now you all see why nobody likes Michael McDowell. What the hell did he made an ass of himself on iRacing? I retweeted that when Cody tweeted about your video.
Like 5 wrecks at Bristol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something else I didn't like him for.
When he went to grab Suarez by the neck and still had his helmet on, and Suarez still kicked his ass.
Yeah, I saw somebody tweeted that. I had seen that clip in a while. Somebody tweeted that like the day after the Bristol thing, and fuck that. I forgot how good that was. Like he gave him like he tried to grab him or whatever, and Suarez just like turned around and put him on his fucking ass. That was so fucking funny. I remember when that happened. Whatever it was, that 2018, that was 2019. Richmond was soon after that race, and that was the first thing I did when I got there. I went to the merch hall and I bought a Daniel Suarez t-shirt. fuck Michael McDowell, man. What a fucking chump. Like,
I saw a tweet. Somebody said, "Imagine your only accomplishments in racing being flipping a car at Texas and getting your ass kicked by Daniel Suarez."
Fuck Michael McDowell. Let me tell you something. I don't know what was going. Maybe they had beef or something. I doubt it, but you never know what's going through the drivers' heads. All I know is what I watched, and that was Bubba moved Michael McDowell. And I don't fucking care whether you like Bubba Wallace or not. Given the last couple weeks, I don't give a shit where you stand. You either like him or you don't like him. It's either like very far both ways. But like, for fuck's sake, man. You can take any 2 drivers. If you're gonna move somebody out of the way at Bristol, cool, great. That's what the track's built for. Cool, get him back, which he probably wouldn't have because Michael McDowell sucks. So what did he do? He just wrecked him. He fucking wrecked him. That's not how you do it at Bristol.
Right,
you bump him back.
It wouldn't have been near as bad as if he drove in there and like hit him in the ass and spun him, but like just fucking completely right rearing him on the straightaway. That's just
that wrecked himself.
That's wrong.
That's fucking horseshit.
It was wrong when Carl Edwards did it to Keselowski for the win, but like that was even kind of different because they had like a long beef, you know what I mean? And they had gotten
Yeah.
together or whatever, and it was for a win. But it's like the All-Star Open, fucking, what were we, 20 laps in or whatever? Not even
Yeah.
close to being done. The thing wasn't decided, and he just right rears somebody. It doesn't make sense.
Fuck him. That is just such bullshit. We all wanted to see. Well, I'm not gonna say we all did because it seemed like most of the crowd was actually against Bubba. Which, like, grow the fuck up, people. Jesus Christ. Fuck's sake, man. But most I think logical people wanted to see Bubba do good, and I just think it was bullshit. I hope Bubba wrecks. Actually, no, I hope he doesn't wreck him back because that doesn't really make him any better. But I'd still cheer if he did. But
No, I hope he does. I think it does make him better. Go junk his shit in a points race. I mean, fuck. Really? I mean, that's like saying, Noah was no better than Harrison Burton for knocking him on his ass. You know what I mean? Like, at a certain point, you have to put your foot down. And like Bubba's not like, I mean, he's not getting pushed around. Bubba will stand up for himself. But the only way I'd be worried is if he does wreck him, all the backlash he'll get. Because we
Yeah, that's
saw
what
it
I'm
happen
saying.
last year when he threw the water on Bowman.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Bubba needs to
everybody
just
flipped shit about that.
Bubba just needs to go out there and just fucking race good. He just needs to beat his ass. Fuck Michael McDowell. He sucks. Just go out there, focus on running good. Don't even fucking dick around with his dumb ass. He's not worth it. He's not. He's been around for how many years? It's fucking Texas week again. And they're showing the fucking crash. Fucking Michael McDowell. Did you guys know that Michael McDowell flipped his dick off like 11 years ago in qualifying in one of the worst overcorrects NASCAR has ever seen in its history? It's like, how long has NASCAR been around now? Like 70 years? 65, somewhere in there? Like,
I mean, he did hit oil or whatever, so there's that.
Fucking whatever.
But
fucking.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bad wreck. I mean, don't get me wrong.
It was a bad
But
wreck.
it's like, I don't know if I'd want to be. At least Michael Waltrip, after he disintegrated that car, he went out and won 2 Daytona 500s. So at least
I mean,
it's not like a Michael McDowell who's only known for a wreck or getting your ass kicked, whichever. Neither. I don't think I'd want to be known for either. Probably the wreck more than the ass kicking.
oh yeah, definitely the wreck. Flip your dick off, and it's if you walk away, it's all right, I guess.
Yeah, it's like you're a badass at that point. You know what I mean? You survived it. But getting your ass kicked by somebody smaller than you who's not wearing a helmet.
Yeah. He did have a significant height advantage on him. That was so fucking clean. Swerve has done. That's why, man. Just an off tangent, man. Like a fucking poor Swerve has got shit on with 2 teams. Now he's stuck with Comp Pros. I was one of the few like supporters of him. He had potential. He never won with the top teams, but I think given like some consistent years, he could have got there. But that's still like my highlight of being a Swerve fan is just him putting Michael McDowell on his fucking ass, just turn around, just whoop, put him down.
I mean, there's still hope with him being in a Toyota ride. Maybe something will happen.
Yeah.
If they tell Jones to fuck off and put Bell over at Gibbs, maybe he could go to the 95, which seems to be a decent car. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like he might still have some potential.
I think he could probably dick around and do like a De Benedetto kind of, he stuck around with a poo-poo team, then he got a shot, and then he got a bigger shot. So, yeah, I don't know. What were we talking about? Yeah, we were talking about the Open.
Yeah.
Quinn was kind of fast the first stage, and then he just wasn't the last 2. He almost fucking ate shit. I know you remember that. There was a moment where he was a lap car, and they were like, I don't remember the other 2 cars, but they were racing, and they got together, and then there was Quinn on the outside, and he got fucking left reared pretty good, but he saved it. He had a little bit of damage, but yeah, I like you said, it might have freaked him out a little bit, but he was not fast after that.
Yeah. It really did look like it. I think at that point too, it kind of set in like, all right, our day's kind of done. Let's just save the car.
Yeah, that was the only thing it was for Startcom and a lot of the other teams in the same boat. It was just an open test session, trying stuff for future short track races. So, hopefully they learned something and go on to the next one. I'm excited to see what they do with Texas. Probably not a whole lot of passing, anyways. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, other than the All-Star Open, that was really about it. And honestly, that was probably the greatest race of the night. The greatest racing, I guess. How many cars was in the main Open? Was it 20 something? It was about the same, I guess. It equaled out to, right?
Yeah.
Between the Open
It was about the same.
It just seemed like there was a lot more cars in the open, and it was just craziness. I guess with the because we had a couple
Well,
lap cars and
yeah, there was a lot more of a not a skill gap, but like a speed gap in the cars. Once you got to the All Star race, pretty much everybody out there except Justin Haley, who kind of surprised me, dropped, but he still hung with everybody. It was weird because it was almost like a pack race aside from like Chase Elliott and Harvick and Blaney up
mm-hmm.
there. Behind
Yeah,
them, it was just a pack all night. So
yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Haley fell off early, like I mean, everybody expected him to, but props to them and the Spire crew for getting the car together. He actually had a lot more speed. I thought he was going to be a serious lap car all night, but he actually held on pretty well with everybody for most of the night. Obviously, he was one of the back. I mean, he was battling with Kurt Busch after he broke, but they're towards the end. He took tires or whatever, and he was coming up through the field and actually yeeted Matt Kenseth out of the way, which I thought was fucking cool. It's probably the highlight of his career. Fucking moving Matt Kenseth out of the way, the Cup All-Star race at Bristol. But okay, maybe second to his Cup win. But 3 starts though. That was his like third career start, I think, in the Cup Series. So what a guy. Yeah. So I think. What do you think went wrong with the Bristol? I mean, it wasn't that bad, but like I think everybody was
So
expected to be a little better. What do you think they could have done better?
oddly enough, I'm always saying shorten races. I think it should have been longer. I think 200 laps, divide that up somehow. I feel like that would have been good. Um, and I honestly, I don't think they need more cars out there because if they did a longer
Nah.
race, they could do longer segments, and some guys would have gone a lap down. Like Kurt Busch, I think he went a lap down once the whole time, but there were several times 5 more laps he'd have gone a lap down, and some other guys like Haley and
Mm-hmm.
um, some other guys who were just struggling throughout the night at the tail end. So I think that would have made it exciting. So I think if they go back next year and do it there, if they just do 200 laps, I think it'd be a lot better because I didn't think it was that bad, really. It was my first Bristol race. So, I mean, I could see maybe that kind of skewed it for me because I was so mesmerized. But it was exciting from the stands. I guess TV too. They can't show everything at once like you could see when you're there. So I've found anytime I'm at a race, I'll leave thinking, man, that was a damn good race. And I look on Twitter and everybody's like, man, that race sucked. But it kind of goes back to like we were talking about with the masks. What you see on the camera, if you're not there, that's all you see.
That's exactly
So
right.
it's like you just see Chase Elliott or Kevin Harvick up there leading the whole time, and you don't see guys in the back beating and banging and racing. You're gonna be like, okay, the race sucked. So I mean, I don't know, make it a little longer maybe. That's the only thing I can think. The last segment was damn sure way too short because tires didn't really matter. Um, it was over in like 4 minutes. The whole race in total, not counting cautions, where it was like 40 minutes. Um,
Yeah.
the top was just finally starting to come in like the last 5 laps of the thing. So if you go 200 laps, I think you'd start seeing the top start to work a little bit. But I don't want the top working like great. I don't want everybody's crying now. They want multi-groove Bristol, but that's what everybody hated. Like I want it to be one lane, whether it's top or bottom. But I would like to see them be able to go up there and try something. And they weren't even really able to do that until the last segment. Really, the last 5 laps was when Kyle started making up a little bit of ground up there. But overall, I really liked it.
Yeah, I did too. I was gonna say I understand the multi groove argument just because the spring race we had earlier. It did pretty good with like that was the first time I think they had ever got like a true like multi groove Bristol to work pretty well. For whatever reason, they it seems like they've gotten better with the PJ1 at least at Bristol because they've been doing that for a while now. And when they did it previous times, they always had it around the bottom, but it would always only last like 100 laps, and then it would just go back to the top. So it would start out pretty good, and then 400 laps left, just everybody would ditch the bottom. But they this spring race, they seem to have it work most the entire race, and then obviously the outside would come in, and I guess they had Xfinity and trucks. I don't know if it was a full weekend or not, but I mean either way they got the top to work in, and by the end of it, it was both. But I enjoy the one groove around the bottom. I mean, preferably that's probably I think what most everybody would like to see, the kind of old school Bristol. And yeah, I saw Kevin Harvick say something that the bottom was too good. and they just did prep. I don't see, that's the thing. I don't know exactly what goes in all the track prep, and obviously I'm not a driver, so it's like, what the fuck do I know? But yeah, I think the biggest thing, it's not Charlotte anymore, so I'd like to probably see him change the format a bit. Um, I was thinking just like having, like, if you're gonna have a 200 lap race, definitely make it longer, and you can't have a 15 lap shootout. I mean, you probably could, and it probably could work out one way or another, but it's probably best to have a longer segment. I was thinking if you're gonna have like a 200 lap race, just put like a half time right in the middle. Have like
Yeah.
a 100 lap and a 100 lap segment. That way you can come down and obviously you get cautions in between, so you can change stuff around, fix your setup and improve your car. I think the biggest thing though that this event needed was an hour of practice. I think this is one of the few races that would have benefited a lot from just an hour of practice. That way everybody could get their cars dialed in a little bit. Because if you remember the Martinsville race this year, remember how stupid it was the first like stage? Because everybody's cars were shite. All of them. Because they didn't have any practice. They didn't like, they just threw them out there, and that was the same way with the All-Star Open. Or, well, I guess both, the All-Star Open and the main one. But the main race, that was the biggest thing. There was like, it was really spread out. Like, you had your top guys, your middle guys, and your rear guys. And everybody was like, they had those portions of the race where it's just like everything kind of spread out, and it seemed like everybody was, the farther you got back, everybody was fighting really hard. Like, it just didn't seem like everybody was on the same page, if that makes sense. So I think, yeah, I mean, if I was doing it, I'd have probably at least an hour of practice. I mean, obviously, there's different circumstances. That's the only thing I don't understand, though. Like, everything else has come back, like IndyCar and F1, and like they're all doing practice. Why can't NASCAR do it? In qualifying, why can't NASCAR do it? I don't know. But I think the Bristol All Star Race would have benefited greatly by it. Just an hour of practice, just to let everybody get dialed in, and I think that way everybody's got that hour to get it, because you're only going to get so much speed out of the car. If everybody has an hour to get as much speed out of the car they can, you're probably going to get, that feel as drivers a little bit closer than just saying fuck it and throwing the cars out there and kind of guessing. Because you can't, I mean, that's the thing with the All Star race. It's not very long either. So it's like, what? We saw like everybody got like 2 or 3 pit stops the entire night, and that was it. And that's all you really get. And sometimes you need bigger adjustments that you can't do on pit roads. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they probably could have done a lot of different things, but I think it was good that it happened. Everybody was expected the one hot night, the fucking something crazy to happen for the first Bristol All-Star race, and it just sometimes it doesn't work out like that, and that's okay. I still had a great time. I would hope that everybody who went had a great time. And I'm sure NASCAR is smart enough they could figure out, how to make it better. What'd you think of the Underglow?
I liked it because my expectations weren't as high as I think a lot of people's were because I initially my expectations were really high. Then the more I looked at that picture of Kurt's car from the burnouts, I think Larson's had them as well.
Yeah.
I realized those were show cars and ride heights are a little different on those.
Yeah.
So I figured they'd have lights in the front too somehow, but I didn't think it would look that great. I didn't know that we'd really be able to see it because I didn't think there'd really be enough clearance. Yeah, I mean, there's been times we've seen where guys go out and have a tire rub from no contact just because teams are pushing it so close, with the clearance on the
Yeah.
tires and shit. So I figured it would look different. Um, I mean, I thought it looked pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't want it every week. I think they could probably figure out a better way to go about it. Maybe with the next gen car. Cause like I've said, whether it's for playoff guys or leaders or whatever, for night races, for new fans at the track or even watching on TV, that'd be a cool way for people to see who's what and what's going on for some people. But I mean, I don't think they could really accomplish it with the way they had it there. But it still looked cool. My only complaint was that they didn't let the teams do it with sponsors. Some of the cars didn't look as good with it, having things that didn't match, like Logano's. If he could have had red or yellow, but red probably. Oh my god, that would have looked awesome. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was all right, I guess. I saw a lot of people making it a bigger deal than they should have in both ways. Some people were saying it was the greatest thing ever, and some people were saying it sucked. I was listening to Sirius on the way home, the Sirius NASCAR channel, and Larry McReynolds said that they were under the impression it was going to go all the way around the car, and then an audible was called. So I don't know if something
Mm.
came up, and they had to just change it and only do the back. Um, but I don't know. It's something they could play with for all star races or non points races in the future.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I was under the same impression that I was gonna go all the way, underneath the cars all the way around. Um, but there was something about it. The angle we had them driving off into turn three that I really liked because you could see the ass end of the cars really good and you could see the underglow really good. Um, I just thought it looked cool. I mean, the ass end, just the light underneath of it, I thought it looked really cool. Um, it'd be cool to see him do something more productive with it, I guess, because like you don't really need to know the manufacturers. I guess it'd be cool to do it, tie it in with the sponsors or the paint scheme, the primary color, just to make it match a little bit better. Or I think you said something like doing special stuff to indicate different cars, like the leader, have him have a certain color or something. I mean, you could do a lot of different things with that. I think it'd be really cool for night races, especially for people attending the race who might be their first time. And I think we were talking about it even at some point. It's when you're at a Bristol race, especially with a full field, you get lost sometimes watching it. So if you had
Mm-hmm.
that underglow and you had some sort of special underglow, especially out of the ass end of the cars, that indicated something like the leader or the lucky dog guy or the guy about ready to go lap down or somebody who's getting black flagged or something, have a special, you could do a lot of different things with that. And I think it'd be very cool. And it's something I'm sure NASCAR's probably looking at. And yeah, I mean, I think the possibilities are endless with that. I mean, they can, especially with the new.
Especially on short tracks, because
Yeah.
that's where it gets confusing. I mean, there's time I've been watching NASCAR for years, and there's times at Martinsville where I lose track of what the fuck's going on with like people going a
Yeah.
lap down and who's this many laps down, who's having a good run and just now going a lap down. Like it's hard to keep track of. So with more of these short tracks doing night races, I think it'd be a perfect opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And
It's.
give fans maybe like a sheet or something that has the color codes on it or something, or put it on the every track has an app now. Let them
Yeah.
access it like that. So I think it'd be cool. I'm sure a lot of people would call it stupid, but I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. That's the. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's got to be a short track night race exclusive. But I mean, why not though? I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. Again, it wasn't what everybody was hoping for, but it was something, and it's got potential. Uh, like it was basically the entire theme of the Bristol All Star Race was just trying shit. Nobody liked the numbers. Cool. Some people liked the underglow. Some people didn't. Could work with it. All
I
right.
liked the numbers actually, some of them. I
Yeah, some of them.
once I got there in person, I actually kind of liked it. The teams who actually designed the scheme around the numbers looked really good. Some of the ones who just slapped a smaller number on their usual scheme looked bad. But going into it, I was expecting not really to care that much, but I was expecting every car out there to really look like shit. But the RCR cars look good. The Gibbs cars look good. Stuart Haas cars didn't look good. Penske cars looked all right. Kurt Busch's car looked both the Ganassi cars looked all right. I thought. Um, and I think even with the next gen, I know they haven't really released all the bodies, but on their test car, I feel like it could fit pretty good on there like that. So if it'll bring more sponsors, make sponsors give more money, make sponsors feel like they're getting more bang for their buck, I don't give a fuck where they put the numbers.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't. At the end of the day, I don't really give a shit. But I'd prefer to see him still in the middle of the door. It's just traditional, man. It's like that's a big part of NASCAR is having that big ass door number on the side. The biggest gripe I have with the door numbers is that they have such strict rules with it as it is now. Fuck that shit, man. Let the teams be more creative with the numbers. Let them be bigger if they want to make them bigger. You know what I mean? They have such strict guidelines on the car numbers now for just regular races in the middle of the door. They got to be a certain size. They got to be this. They got to be that. It'd be really cool to see him kind of be a little bit more lenient on that. But
Well, I've argued at points that NASCAR should just stay out of the number placement. Like, give them options where if they want a quarter panel number, like give them a minimum, so like they can't just put a tiny ass sticker of their
yeah,
number on there and sell
yeah,
the rest as ad space. But if they want a quarter panel number, give them a requirement for that. If they want to slide it back like we saw in the All-Star race, give them a requirement for that, and then give them a requirement for the regular door number and let them pick. You know what I mean? I feel like that would even work. But a lot of people say, "Oh, we want uniformity out there," and I mean, I get it, but like, I feel like a number's not going to change. If the on-track product's good, I'm going to watch. I don't care about numbers.
sorry, my fucking had to put mustache down. She was laying on my lap there for a while, and then she got fussy, so I had to put her down. She fucking doinked off my
But
mic.
Harrison Burton's K&N car, that looked pretty cool, I thought, when he had the quarter panel deal.
Yeah, my thing is, if you're gonna I'd like to see the entire field, because then it starts getting. I feel like it starts getting confusing for a lot of new fans. If you're gonna just I feel like if you just pick a spot and then everybody have the same spot, you know what I mean?
I guess I just don't care. Like, I feel like,
I don't care either. But if that's how I had to do it, that's how I'd do it.
yeah.
I don't think.
I feel like if we just gave them more freedom to like let them design their car or whatever, because most people would stay on the door, like, they would, but like there'd be that one team who got that one sponsor, and they're like, hey, let's be different, let's put our number back here. You know what I mean? So it would.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd open the door to a lot of cooler things.
Yeah,
Or it'd be stupid. Who knows? That's why I'm not in charge.
Yeah, same. Freedom is a key word though. They should fuck off NASCAR. Let the teams do what they want, especially if it's cosmetic. Fuck it. But yeah, that was really about it. I mean, the race once again wasn't the best, but we both had a good time, and yeah, I guess that brings us to the fence guy.
Oh man. Okay, so I caught a lot of shit for this, which I caught more like happiness than shit. But
That's always good.
so the race ends, and we look down there, and there's this dude climbing the fence, and we're like, holy hell! And like, by the time I saw him, he was already up there. Like, he was high up. Like, I've seen people go up to the fence and kind of, get on it or whatever, and then security's like, hey, fuck off, but like, this guy was up there. He was up there to the point where if he wanted to, he could have gone up on the top and sat like the Richmond guy did, but he stopped. So I see him, I video him, I put it on Twitter. Everybody's going crazy for him. And let me kind of backtrack here. In the caution before the last segment, they put up on the big Colossus TV thing they have, that they were going to be doing a procedure getting everybody out. Like, certain sections were going to leave when they were dismissed. You just had to wait to be dismissed. And Dago was kind of the same way, but it was a lot less people, and Chase didn't win. Well, their little plan would have worked, but Chase Elliott had to go win, so that plan went out the window because the place went nuts. I mean, people were running down the stairs to the fence, even on the backstretch. People were running down to the fence. I mean, there were a ton of people down there at the bottom. You saw them.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly watching the guy climb. But even on the front stretch, we saw people down there at the fence. So, I mean, everybody just went nuts because Chase Elliott won. Nobody was leaving. We stayed in our seats. I video the fence climbing guy. Not NASCAR, but security people are down there at the fence now, kind of telling everybody to get lost. They're trying to just get everybody out at that point, because people had gone over to the turn 3 side where the drivers were walking out. There's a little gate over there. And this was a good bit after the race. Chase had already driven by with the flag, and then he turned around and went into victory lane. So they're trying to get everybody out, and I see the guy who climbed the fence coming up the steps. I'm like, I need to interview this guy. And so by this point, we've been in there for hours, two and a half. I mean, we were there an hour before they opened, so probably 3 hours we've been in there. Masks weren't required in your seats. I had just seen a Bristol All-Star race. I was fucking hyped. I'm gonna be honest. Last thing on my mind was a mask. I if you would have said COVID, I would have been like, what the fuck's COVID? You know what I mean? Like, it was the last thing on our minds. We all felt normal for the first time in months. So I see the guy. I'm like, I got to interview him. I walk down a row and meet him. So I wasn't even that far from our seats. Like, we were right there. I start to interview him on the stairs, and I'm like, oh shit, they're sending everybody out. So I get over, and so like we're just like a row or two down and across the stairs, and I interview him. He couldn't remember his own Instagram because he was a little drunk, and he put his arm around me. I put my arm around him. We were happy. We talked about it. He was just excited that Chase Elliott won. I'm like, hell yeah. He hugged me, which I was kind of like iffy on, not because of COVID, just because I'm not really a hugger, especially with dudes. But it's like, all right, the dude's excited. Whatever. I walk back up to our seats, post it. That's it. Some security guy comes through there and tells us we got to fuck off for the night. And so we get our masks on and we leave. And I guess it was about the time we got out there to like the porta potties and we're telling Davey by that I saw Twitter and saw people shitting on me.
Yeah.
Because the tweet blew up like instantly. And I was like, shit, man. Like when we were in the truck, I was like, I need to delete that tweet because that looks bad.
I was talking you out of it all fucking night. We got all the way back to the hotel. And you're like,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I gotta delete this, man. Everybody's
yeah. And I had sent it to people, and people were like, "No, that's awesome." And then I actually sat down and looked through Twitter, and that's when I realized most of the people who were mad were just the people who woke up and wanted to be mad. And weren't there. I mean, they were shitting on Chase. Ran up to the fence, and there was a dog pile of people, none of them wearing masks, and he was giving them high fives and stuff. So it turned out it wasn't that big of a deal that me and a dude shared a moment. And that's what I was telling Cozy, man. It's like, what a weird year 2020 is, because it's like, it's the only year that a redneck and a black guy at a NASCAR race could put their arms around each other, post a video, and woke Twitter would be mad at them. Because it was a beautiful sight. I don't care what anybody says. That's what racing's about. We were just hyped as fuck. We weren't thinking about the Rona. We were just fucking hyped. And, of course, woke Twitter had to woke Twitter and tried to ruin it. But most rational, there were people in the comments who were like, man, I wish you would have wore a mask, but look, I get it. It happens, whatever. So I'm not, I initially, like, if I could go back, yes, I'd put my mask on and we wouldn't put our arms around each other. But, what can I say? It didn't happen that way. We were just hyped. He was hyped. We got a cool video together. And that little 30-second interaction was it. So, I mean, if that's what people want to be mad about, I guess so be it. We should have got him on the podcast. That would have been a great first guest.
That would have been a good first guest.
It's not too late. I have his Instagram. I could hit him up maybe sometime. Maybe next time they go to Bristol.
We'll catch up with him.
Bristol. I would like to, whenever if we're allowed to go back to Bristol in the playoffs, I know me and you'd like to go. Maybe he'll be there and we can say what's up to him, and with our masks on, I guess.
Yeah,
and make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Happy ending. But really, man, like I'm telling you, what a weird year. Because like I said, most people appreciated it for what it was. Two race fans, regardless of race or background or whatever, just enjoying the moment. But some people had to get upset.
Yeah, everybody, man, there's a lot of assholes out there, man. I mean, it's like, all right, but like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Complaining about it doesn't do a damn fucking thing except make you look like a fucking cunt. So like thanks for that. Like, I understand if you're trying to like educate people, like, hey, you should probably wear a mask, this or that,
Yeah, and I wasn't like, there were people in there who are like, hey man, like I saw people in my replies like, hey man, wear a mask next time or whatever so we can keep having races. It's like, okay, like I get it, because that person is just legitimately concerned. But the people who are like, nice mask. Wait, you're a fucking asshole. You're killing people. You're the reason we can't have nice. It's like, okay, look, I do take this shit serious in real life. I don't really leave my house that much as it is. But if I'm going to a grocery store or whatever, I'll wear a mask. I wore my mask when I was required to at the race for the most part, aside from when I was taking videos or
we
something.
We did everything we were fucking supposed to at the track, and we had that one moment. Fuck yourself.
If I had a big camera with a boom mic, yeah, I could leave my mask on and people could hear me. But, if I'm taking a video, whatever. Me and dude met. I did find his Instagram. I think it's Killa Kills. He's a cool dude. Like I said, I want to meet him again. The video got big, it blew up. People were pissed, but I do think I saw more positive than negative from it. Most people appreciate it because, like I said, well, with the way NASCAR's been the last few months and a lot of attention with stuff, I feel like that shows like that's a video you could show to people and be like, look, man, everybody's a race fan at the track for the most part. Yeah, you're gonna have your ignorant people here and there were a lot of them at Bristol, Boo and Bubba and stuff. But NASCAR's for everybody. That's what I try to tell people.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you just want to get so excited you have to go climb something, you can do that at a NASCAR race.
Hell yeah, after
where
the
else
race.
can you do that? Yeah, after. Don't do it during the race. There were people. So there were some people who were mad about me not wearing a mask and him not getting arrested. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, okay, so you want me to wear a mask and you want this guy to go to jail? It's like he didn't hurt anything. At that point, the only person in danger, I'd argue if he did it under green at that point, if somebody wants to climb up to the top of the fence under green, only reason I'd say not to is because it might damage the car if you fall over. You know what I mean? You don't want, but you play stupid games, you might win stupid prizes. But he didn't even play a stupid game. He was legitimately excited. Like his first words to me were number 9. Like he was just so hyped that he had to climb something, and the fence was the nearest thing. So I can't fault the guy. I got to give him credit because he was a pretty big dude. And he got up there with ease. So, God bless him, man.
That was good to be there for that, though, man. It was good to see Chase win. I know not everybody likes Chase Elliott, but he's a popular guy, and a lot of people like to see him win. And I've wanted to see him win for a long time. I was there in Dover in 2017, the year he choked to Kyle Busch because he couldn't figure out how to get around Ryan Newman. I wanted to see him win there, and then we were both there for Martinsville when he got dumped by Denny Hamlin late in the race.
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward a couple years, I finally got to see Chase Elliott win a Cup race. So it's a pretty cool deal. And again, I'm not a huge Chase Elliott fan, but I always like to see when he wins because I know a lot of people really do like him, and it's like the Dale Jr. effect. When he wins, it's a good day in NASCAR, and that's all you can ask for because you don't get a lot of those. So, moral of the story though, for all those you who do the social media day in and day out. Always think before you're about to post something or reply to somebody, and really think about whether it's negative or not, and really ask yourself, does the world really need my negativity today? Because the answer is always fucking no.
That's the thing, man. Like that was a positive moment, and it's I get it. I put out a tweet later and said like, look, we should have maintained distance, and I was caught up in the moment, and obviously he had just climbed the fucking fence.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if we could, if it had been before the race, we'd have had masks on. But by that point, everybody was just hyped, and all hell had broken loose, man. I don't want to blame the track because I really think their plan would have worked if anybody but Chase won. But when Chase won, that place it was already kind of a party. It went nuts. Everybody, there were people running up and down stairs. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
So.
If he was one spot better, Kyle Busch, if he would have won, everybody would have got the fuck out as soon as that race ended.
So, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? I don't know. That's one of my favorite memories from the track ever. So people can't take that away.
Hell yeah. You damn right they can't. Well, that brings us to the Moonhead Mailbag, unless you got anything else you want to say about Bristol, because I don't.
No, I don't. Just shout out to Kellen.
Hell yeah.
My buddy Kellen. He's a legend. I think most people remember him as a legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got a handful of questions here tonight from the Moonhead Mailbag. I about started to read them, but you like me to read the email first.
That's right.
askmoonhead@gmail.com. That's where you can reach us. Jacob Gregory's he got the poll. That's what we'll say. The first question. Hypothetically, let's say a billionaire offers you access to a team up to the caliber of Ganassi and Cup currently to drive one NASCAR Cup Series race in with the condition that you need to finish top 24 or he'll kill you.
Oh my.
Would you take Gosh, okay, this took a turn. Would you take the offer, and if so, what track? Personally, I think Daytona is the best bet because it's a crash fest. You could hang out in the back and survive, but make this question harder. You could take the restrictor plates off the table. Um, that's the most unique question we've gotten.
Breaking news after the Cup Series event on Sunday. New first-time driver Travis Brown found murdered after he didn't finish in the top
Finished
24.
25th at Talladega. Yeah, I mean, plate tracks would be easier, but also you could risk. I know Brendan Gaughan usually has the strategy to stay in the back, and then usually he's up at the front towards the end and either wrecks or finishes top 10. But we saw at Dega this year, there wasn't really a big one till the last lap, and it wasn't even that big of a big one. So you could always run that risk. A Ganassi Cup car currently, I'd probably say a mile and a half. They usually a solid top 24 car in a mile and a half.
Yeah. I mean, they're good enough. They're a good enough car that you could probably get away with, depending on your skill level. I mean, you could probably get away with a lot of stuff at a short track or like a road course. So, I mean,
yeah. So there's your. Hopefully, I don't get killed.
Yeah,
Thanks for your question.
I'd go to probably Martinsville or Richmond or something. That'd probably.
Yeah, I
be
mean,
my
going
go-to.
off iRacing, yeah, I'd probably go to a short track. But I'm just saying, like, going to just the car, like, assuming I need to finish like the car does now, I'd say a mile and a half.
Yeah, fuck
just to be
that though,
safe.
because the NASCAR, the Cup package fucking sucks. Put me on a short track. That other package, fuck out of here. I'm not driving no aero shit.
Matt F writes, and I think this is on like his fourth email because I tried blocking him. Do you think the All-Star race could possibly go to Eldora? Cozy has been before,
No.
and I'm sure he can attest to it being a good race. Yeah, no. I that's just a no from me.
It's a no from me, dog.
Yeah. Antonio Massini writes, 1, I enjoy the podcast. So first off, would you ever have a guest like Jeff Gordon or Dale Earnhardt?
I think we missed Dale Earnhardt.
I think our odds for Jeff are a little better, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. 2, do you think Jimmy will ever win a race? He has won a race before, a couple of them. But it wouldn't surprise me if he won this year. He's been close enough. What about you, Cozy?
I'd be surprised.
Okay. 3, who will be the next rookie winner or first time winner? #put, and then Moonhead on Fox. #cozy to the 00. Next rookie or first time winner.
We already did this question before Cole Custer won.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'd probably say Reddick or Byron.
Yeah, we both agreed. Yeah, that's exactly what we said. Tyler Reddick
Okay.
or Bill Byron. So.
Okay, so there's that. Thank you for your question. Brian Green writes, what is your favorite and least favorite Cessra memory? Oh, man. All right, we'll let you go first.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Favorite and least favorite memory? I guess my favorite would be my first Cessra win. It took way too many fucking tries, but that Rockingham win where I had to go through 2 overtimes and hold off Shane Papala, the fucking tire changer on Kevin Harvick's car. It was good to finally win and give a big fuck you to everybody else involved with Cessra to win one of those bastards. Least favorite was probably losing the championship to somebody wrecking intentionally. That probably takes the cake for me.
My least favorite was losing Richmond to that same guy wrecking intentionally. So we have that there.
All right.
My favorite memory was, I guess, winning that one Cessra race I won at Daytona.
Oh yeah.
Where I put the moves on everybody.
Just had to ask about Cessra just as I was really starting to suppress those memories.
Yeah,
it's been a while
that
ago.
was such a bad time. Like Cessra and Blazing Pedals were the 2 worst times ever, I think, for us.
Yeah, that was. I did a lot of things wrong with Cessra, but that was just a fucking shite time. It really was.
They're still digging out there though.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably
They're getting a million viewers or whatever they're saying now, 100,000 viewers or whatever they're saying on their little ad promos. I'm like, I don't think that's how it works, but
yeah, well,
more power to them. Whatever. I got my own league to worry about now. I was thinking about that. I went back and watched your stream from ASCAR last night, man, and it just hit me like, luckily I have Barstool now, but like I don't race at all anymore aside from Barstool.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
it is
I don't
weird.
even get to do like rod car on Friday nights or anything anymore, obviously. Um, so yeah, it's weird. I don't even practice for Barstool. I just kind of show up, and that race chapped my ass on Thursday. Let me tell you what. Um, because I was easily a second place car. But anyway, Dan Morrissey writes, "Hey Travis and Cozy, big fan of the podcast.
Hi,
Makes my
Dan.
week. Thank you, Dan. What is the meanest thing that you have done to someone to get them back? Also, what is one of your dreams? Mine is to become a police officer. Once again, thanks for the podcast." I got to think about this one. What's the meanest thing you've done to get someone back?
To get someone back,
Yeah, I guess like a payback of sorts.
I don't, I don't know, like at all. I had
Yeah,
a,
I can't think of anything.
might have stumped both of us.
I mean, I do owe somebody a prank back because they made me spend 3 months of my life thinking I was going to get my ass whipped.
Hmm.
That was so I guess I'll tell this story briefly. Basically, there was this chick I had a huge crush on in high school, and I kind of blew my opportunity with her because I was really socially awkward in the 10th grade. Um, Long story short, somehow I ended up I was at a buddy's house. Another buddy was ended up with her. They FaceTimed me. Somehow we ended up talking. They were just doing that to like piss me off. Um, anyway, I ended up getting a text late that night from somebody saying they knew where I was because they knew the guy. I was at my buddy's house and he was claiming he knew his brother. And he said he was going to come kick my ass for FaceTiming his girl. And so initially I was like, all right, I don't give a fuck. Bring it on. Well, then my buddy who was at the house was in on it. My two buddies who were at the house were both in on it. Um, they actually, yeah, they were the ones who were organizing the prank. They were there and they were like, "Oh yeah, we know him. He's about 6'6", 250 or something." I forget. They showed me like a picture of a dude that his brother really did know. So I thought this big dude was coming to kick my ass. So then my text suddenly shifted to like, "Look, man, this is a misunderstanding." Because I'm like, only way I'm coming out good on this deal is if I stab or shoot the motherfucker, and I really don't want to do that because I'm not in the business of doing that over this misunderstanding. So anyway, basically, I ended up in there in the bedroom. Initially I was going to sleep in the living room because they had two beds in the bedroom, but I took a sleeping bag in there and I slept on the floor because I was like, "Look, if this guy comes in, we're three of us surely should be able to take him." And they're still texting me, or the guy's still texting me. Um, and then the other buddy was texting me from the dude who was with the girls, a fake number saying he was from him, saying that guy was on his way to come kick my ass. And then I was getting texts saying he was outside, so I was fucking hiding. I was anyway, long story short, 3 months go by. I'm fucking riding around scared to death, thinking that some big motherfucker's out here looking for me and he's gonna beat me to death. And then come to find out, the whole thing was just those two guys texting me from fake numbers.
Oof.
Yeah. So that was a really weird prank. Because I mean, man, I really thought I was gonna get my ass whipped, and I'm not like a scaredy cat when it comes to that stuff. I'm not scared to throw down, but like, I mean, I'm sure like if somebody said, "Yeah, this 6'6", 250 guy's coming to whip your ass," you just
Yeah, I mean,
you'd
I'd,
want a way out.
I'd be fucking running underneath of his legs.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, well, see, I'm in that awkward position where it's like I'm not tiny, so I can't really get away. And I don't know, but luckily it never happened because I was like, man, I don't know what I could do because it's like I can't, my only option, I guess, is a weapon, and I don't want to do that. So it's like I'm just gonna have to take this ass whooping, I guess. But it never came to that. So yeah. Dreams. What are your dreams, Cozy?
Well, my dreams have significantly changed in my life. I guess I'm up to being a successful uh, content creator and
Oh,
streamer. I
all right.
guess. Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I just want to be successful at something, be able to like buy my mom a car or something. I always like those stories.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Those are nice
So
stories.
yeah, so if I can do something like that, I don't care how I do it. I'd like to do that.
Same.
Justin Basanti with our last question,
Hi,
right? Hey,
Justin.
Cozy.
Hey.
Oh, fuck you, Justin. Hey, Cozy, how do you feel about Taco Bell getting rid of half their menu and all potato items? Okay, never mind. Not fuck you, because I get it now. It's a cozy question. It's a tragedy, all to only put the $5 nachos box onto the menu. P.S. Vote Justin Basanti into the Tits All-Star race. Yes, do that. Um, Vote for the Tits All-Star race fan vote. I haven't looked at the poll yet, but it closes. You'll be hearing this Sunday morning. Sunday, 6 p.m. it closes. And we're doing the All-Star race, the All-Star Open and the All-Star race tomorrow night.
Oh,
Cozy's in that race.
fuck, I am.
Unless he doesn't show up.
I might show up, but it might be pretty fucked up. We'll see. Sunday's
Alright.
my fuck up day.
Well, it's the All-Star race. You might as well do it that way.
Yeah, I won't stream then, but if you guys know
Oh.
I didn't stream tomorrow, it's fine. What was the question? Oh, it's Taco Bell.
Getting rid of half their menu and all that.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. All right, first off, I'm not sure. I think why they're doing it, though, is something with Corona. I don't know. I heard a lot of restaurants are changing around their menus just because of just the Corona and the impact it's had on the food and stuff like that. But, all right, here's the thing. This is very important to me. I don't really give a shit about most of the stuff they're taking off. I think the quesarito they're taking out, and I'm really upset about that. That's like a go-to for a lot of people, including myself. Steak quesarito, that's where it's at. It's one of those few things you can throw in the fridge and warm it up later, and it's still okay. All right, here's the thing. I've been eating Taco Bell for probably 15 years now, at least. My earliest Taco Bell memories are going to this with my parents, going to this we used to go to air shows a lot, and there's this one in Reading, Pennsylvania, and we'd stop at this Taco Bell, and this is back in the good old days. The Fiesta potatoes used to have chives in them, and I know a lot of this is how big of a Taco Bell fan I am. I remember only OGs remember the chives and the Fiesta potatoes. But here's the thing, that was like some of the earliest Taco Bell memories I have was getting the Fiesta potatoes with the chives in there, and eventually they took out the chives and it was just cheesy and sour cream potatoes. But for what feels like most my entire life, I have been eating Fiesta potatoes, at least probably like once a week. Maybe not always once a week, but like my entire life. Every time I go to Taco Bell, I always get an order of Fiesta potatoes. And now they're taking them off the menu, and I've been, my life is it's gonna be changing now. I've really been thinking about it the last couple of days, and I really don't know what to say about it. I'm just upset, and I hope they come back one day, because they've been a big part of my life, and yeah, it's just really upsetting. I've just been looking for the words, and I don't have them yet. But when I do, I'll let you know. Just really upset. But Taco Bell will always be there. The Fiesta potatoes won't, which sucks. But they're you bet your ass I'm gonna be eating a lot of them before they. I think what is it, August 15th? I think the menu changes. So every listen here, gasholes. Every person listening to this podcast, I beg you, before August 15th, which I believe is the date, I could be wrong, don't quote me, but before August 15th, find a Taco Bell, and you only have to order one thing. I urge you to order more than just this one thing, but please just get an order of Fiesta potatoes. It's a little bowl. It's a great appetizer. They're just like little chunks of potatoes that's covered in hot nacho cheese and sour cream. The greatest fucking thing, one of the greatest inventions I think anybody's ever come up with in the history of the world, personally. But yeah, after a long, they used to be better with the chives, but they've been around for a long time, and they're going away, and they're probably one of the greatest things in my life, and they always have been. So I'm gonna be eating a lot of them, and I really hope you guys give them a go. Just go up there, go up to Taco Bell, order, just order an order of Fiesta potatoes, and they'll whip them up right up for you. They're fucking good. They're so good. They are delicious. So please, before August 15th, go to Taco Bell, order some, tweet them at me, let me know how you like them, and that's it.
Well, all right. That's the Moonhead Mailbag. Askmoonhead at gmail.com.
All right. So iRock's coming back, sort of, kind of, not really, but it's with Tony Stewart and Ray Evernham. Do you know anything about it? Because I sure as hell don't.
Yeah, I just saw there were some tracks going around, mostly short. There were some dirt tracks and some that weren't dirt tracks, I think.
Dirt and asphalt, a little bit of both.
Yeah. And they followed specific drivers on Twitter, but none of the drivers are confirmed. And Ray Evernham's building all the cars, and they're going to be spec cars. And it's just going to be like a short track IROC on CBS, and the races aren't going to be longer than 2 hours. And it's going to happen next summer. So it sounds really cool. Hopefully it's executed well.
Yeah. I think it's I'm looking forward to it. I'm surprised we haven't had a lot of stuff like that before. I mean, I'm sure it's probably hard to get together the funds and the sponsorship and to put an entire thing like that before. But obviously, we had IROC, and that's kind of, I don't know. I'm surprised we haven't had like more like little branch off things. It's been a while, but
there's been little things here and there that have tried, like obviously spec racing, like stock car shit. I remember there was this one TV show. Forget what it was, but I think they raced the same track every week. I think they raced Iowa. Ew. And it was on like one of the low budget Fox channels. But yeah, I mean, this is a long time coming. If anybody knows how to do it, it's going to be Stewart and Evernham.
Oh, damn right.
Evernham's a genius when it comes to building race cars, and Stewart, he already owns one series, so he kind of knows what he's doing there. He owns a track, he owns a cup team, a sprint car team, and
he's a smart guy.
Sprint car series, yeah. So if anybody can do it, he's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know a whole lot about it, but if you're gonna have a branch off thing with this, here comes the cat back. Hi, kitty. Yeah, if you're gonna have a branch off thing like a racing series like this, and you're gonna have a bunch of big names doing stuff like that, there's not two other guys you would want to have than Tony Stewart and Ray Evernham building the fucking cars. So I'm looking forward. Do they have like a date or something set? Like, are they doing it this year or next year?
Shit. I
would imagine they're probably aiming to do it next year.
No, yeah. It's next summer. Like, I forget when it starts. It's like a 6-week span next summer, because they've already got the TV deal sorted out.
Right.
But I forget the exact date.
Okay, well, yeah, the exact dates aren't really important, but next summer, it's a good time to do it, though. Some summer short track racing, and hopefully the fucking coronavirus is done over here by then. But considering how we're going right now, who the fuck knows? Probably not. But who the hell knows what the country's gonna look like by then? But I'm looking forward to it. Hell yeah! I hope they get some. I'm excited to see what kind of drivers they get.
I hope it's just like IROC. Like, I hope they can get some NASCAR guys, even some retired NASCAR guys, then dirt and asphalt guys, even some like short track guys who maybe aren't NASCAR stars, but like a Josh Berry or a Bubba Pollard or some of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then some of the dirt guys as well. I think that there was a rumor going around that Juan Pablo Montoya was interested, so that'd be cool to see him up there.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's a badass. I don't care what anybody says. He can wheel a race car, even though he didn't win but 2 cup races on road courses.
Yeah, he does not get enough respect. He's 8 times, but
he's won in literally everything he's done. Like, has he not? Like,
yeah,
I can't think of anything I've seen him. Like, he won in Xfinity, he won in Cup, hadn't he won a Rolex 24?
Yeah, he might have won more than one.
Yeah, he's won an Indy 500. Hadn't he won an IndyCar championship?
He's won 2 Indy 500s.
Two Indy 500s.
Briefly, he was 2 for 3 at the Indy 500, and then yeah, he had a really great record there, and then he didn't win after the 2015 win or whatever. But
he almost won several oval races in NASCAR.
He won in Formula One.
Did he win an F1 race?
Yeah, he won in Formula One.
Yeah, and God knows what else he's done. So quit shitting on Juan Pablo.
Yeah, you don't see they don't build him like Juan Pablo anymore. I tell you that.
I mean, yeah, he wrecked a lot of people in NASCAR, but shit, he just didn't take any shit.
Nah, the only thing, it was just the jet dryer thing, and it's the same case of just stupid fucking people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's exactly like the whole Bubba Wallace thing. It's just dumb fucking people who see something and they don't understand it and they take it a whole different way. All it was is he was in a wreck and he was going by the fucking jet dryer and his car fucking broke and crashed into it.
But well, I don't see a lot of people hating on him for that. I mostly see all the other shit.
That is 100% what it was.
No, he got hate before that.
Okay, yes, but the majority of it, when that happened, it was all the fucking jokes started after that. Everybody, like, it didn't matter what he did or what his accomplishments were. It was all about that fucking jet dryer thing. Like, he crashed into it because he was bad. Because just dumb fucking people didn't understand what had happened.
All right. But yeah, I'm sure some people like Juan Pablo will join the series as well. That's another thing. Stewart has connections. You know, he hangs out with a lot of racers from a lot of different series. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a nice little talent spread.
Juan Pablo Montoya has 3 IMSA wins, 7 Formula One wins, 5 IndyCar wins, 2 of those being Indianapolis 500s. 10 wins in kart. Didn't win in ARCA, damn. He started 2 races in ARCA. 1 Xfinity win and then 2 in Cup. And he should have won a lot more in fucking Cup. But, circumstances. So, just stats, woo. Should make a fucking, make a racing reference video. Click and get the fucking ad revenue going. Yeah, so I did want to talk briefly about F1. I know nobody really gives a shit, but
God, let me go get a drink while you do this.
Yeah, F1 is fucking back, baby. Who likes F1? I like F1. F1's
hey,
fucking...
the lone fans out here. No, hang on. Let me disclaimer. I respect F1, and I even respect IndyCar. The only reason I shit on IndyCar is because it's fun to watch IndyCar fans on Twitter get salty about it. That's literally the only reason I do it.
Yeah, I understand getting shitting on IndyCar, but F1 actually does things.
F1 is the biggest motorsport in the world, so I'm not going to shit on it. And IndyCar, I just don't like the fans who are salty all the time. Because NASCAR's gimmicky, and they literally have a button in the IndyCar that'll make you pass people. Like, what the fuck is that? But anyway, go on about your F1 rant.
It's not really a rant. I just wanted to see how y'all doing, see how y'all liking your Formula Ones this year. I'm so pissed I missed the first race. It was in Indianapolis, and I was up late the night before, and it was obviously that first Austria race, and like, dude, I set an alarm and I woke up for the alarm, and I was like, fuck, man, I was barely keeping my eyes open. So I was like, and of course it was the one fucking good race so far this year. The second one was kind of a boner deflator. However, who was it that drove through the field? Was it Perez? Perez was a fucking monster. I think it was him who drove through the field, the one pink car. He was I don't know where he started, but he was on it. And it was really fun to watch him drive through the field. Yeah, so I guess we're closing in on 3 a.m. here. We're recording Saturday night into Sunday morning here. So I guess I'm just going to stay up here and watch Hungary. Apparently there is a chance of rain, which I'm super excited about. I hope it fucking pours. It seems like I somehow always miss the weather affected races, but Lewis Hamilton on pole, so that'll probably be another Lewis Hamilton charity race. But hopefully we'll get some other action in there. But man, let me tell you something. I missed Formula One. Watching last week was so exciting. Well, it wasn't exciting, but it was like, I don't know how to explain it, because I've been trying to explain it for a long time now, and I'm going to try to keep this brief. But, man, watching Formula One is just so much different than NASCAR. It's just great. It is. And, like, watching Formula One now, it spoils me for watching like coverage of NASCAR. The thing that gets me so excited about watching Formula One, it's not just Formula One. Just they are so good at making something not entertaining entertaining, and they do it. I'm telling you, just light years better than NASCAR. Now, and it's not just one thing or the other. It's everything they do, from the pre-race shows to just interviewing the drivers as they're coming out and doing all that stuff, and not only just the graphics and how and it even just boils down to just how well spoken the folks that cover F1 is. They're so just
R.
well. I know, all right. I know. I fucking that hit my brain. I was like, I was gonna continue talking like nobody noticed it.
It's just amazing how well spoken they is.
Yeah. Well, what do you say like that? Yeah, I got ahead of myself. That's what I'm saying. We don't know how to talk over here, but they know how to talk over there, and they're fucking really good at it. They just make things exciting. They're just constantly talking, and that fucking Crofty motherfucker, man. When the race starts, that is the fucking greatest. Like, it's just the greatest part of the day is when the F1 race starts and Crofty doesn't shut the fuck up for the first lap, and he just yells the entire first lap of things happening. It's so fucking fun to watch, and that's about the only excitement you get through the race the entire time. But no, this just all of it, man. The presentation, the commentating, fucking, it's just all so good, and it's all for such a shitty like racing product. But that's just how good they are at it. It makes it fun to watch, and yeah. So I don't really have anything to talk about the races themselves because I was severely sleep deprived for the one race I actually did catch, but. Yeah, so whoop de fucking do. Let's say Lewis Hamilton probably wins. I guess by the time this podcast goes up, the race will be over. But yeah, I guess that'll be my pick. But I heard George Russell made it up there. Both Williams cars were fast in qualifying, which is something we haven't said in a very long time. Williams being fast, that is. So George Russell has been doing some good things. He made it to, I want to say Q3 last week. Either way, he had a really good qualifying session last time out. I had another good one as well, so we'll see how fast he drops back again. But good to see Williams not being last in everything, I guess. That's really all I got to say about F1. I hope you guys are enjoying your Formula Ones. I know most of the people probably just clicked off the podcast, but for those of you who didn't, thank you for listening, and hopefully y'all enjoy the F1 race if you do catch it. All right, so we also had some IndyCar. I don't think anybody really gives a shit about that either, but Colton Herta fucking flew through the air.
Yeah, he did.
I missed, what the hell is this cat doing? I missed both races. I caught a little bit of each, but I had to stream during both the races. They had an Iowa doubleheader. Pagano won the first one, and then Newgarden won tonight. Connor Daly started on pole for the first race, and then he sucked. But I don't want to say sucked, but I think he finished like 8th or whatever. But it was good to see him have speed with the Carlin car. Yeah, other than that, though, yeah, Colton Herta flew off of a restart problem. It was definitely a problem, I'll tell you that. Rinus VK, I think, was the one who got stacked up, and he just ramped over the back of him. So, shout out to the arrow screen or whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah, it saved dude on the bottom, and I mean, we about got to test it against the catch fence up there.
Yeah.
With, what's his name? He got really close to going in there at a bad angle.
Yeah, that's crazy, and it's like they weren't even really going that fast. It was off a restart, and like at a track at Iowa too. Obviously, Indy cars zip around there much faster than stock cars do, but man, he got up there, man. Like once you get a little bit of air under those things, they're fucking airplanes. That's all they really are. They just got wheels on them, and then when you when you get them on top of the air, they just take the fuck off. So
that the way they're shaped, they're easy to ramp. Like it looked like he just kind of ramped. Like I don't think. I mean, it would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for the little head guard thing or whatever the hell it's called. But I feel like that even pitched him up in the air a little higher. So
yeah, it might have. Yeah.
I guess it saved old boy's noggin. So I guess that's good. But yeah, that was a wild one. I don't think I don't watch much IndyCar, but I haven't seen one fly like that in a while, so that was interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that Scott Dixon crash at the 500 that one year. You remember that? I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah, that was a
2018,
bad one. He got lucky too.
2017, I think. Yeah, yeah, he was. That was like, man, that was both a case of getting some fucking air, and both really lucky land. They both landed on top of the safer barrier. Um, and Scott Dixon, the way he did it, he landed kind of like on the side pod, right on the top of the wall, and Colton Herta, I don't know. I guess he kind of like the ass end landed on. I don't really remember it too much, but yeah, both got really lucky. But amongst other than that, uh, I think there's a Road America doubleheader, which whoop de fucking do. Scott Dixon won one of them. I don't know who won the other, but Scott Dixon, I didn't realize he started off winning the first three races. The first three races. Man, if that happened in NASCAR, could you imagine somebody like I don't know who you compare Scott Dixon to in NASCAR. Maybe like Kevin Harvick. Not really though. People actually like Scott Dixon. So, but the same still applies. A veteran winning the first three races of the NASCAR season, dude. People would be, oh man, they'd be going crazy on Twitter. But I guess yeah, that happens. There's not enough people to really get a fuss going on Twitter for IndyCar, but yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't even know what the next race is. It might be another month break before we get to the next IndyCar race. I hope that's not the case, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoying your IndyCars too. Xfinity today. What the hell you want to talk about Xfinity?
I mean, only big deal was Graxon running over Herbst. I mean, there was a lot of aggression. The booth was like a buzzkill today for whatever reason. It was like they were just on some fucking high horse with everything. And instead of hyping up all the people running each other over, they were like, man, I can't believe that. Oh, terrible. I can't believe it.
I was watching a part of the race, and did you notice that one time where they did that thing where it was off a restart, and they were like, I guess they were just gonna let Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton take it for a while, and they both put up their little cameras on the bottom of the leaderboard, and it was just like one of those moments where they were calling the race. And it was so fucking awkward because like Dale Jr. was like calling it, and then like he would stop talking, and then Jeff Burton would just sit there with his thumb up his ass for like 25 seconds, and then Dale Jr. would start up again. It was like I was watching that, I was like, man, if like NASCAR could figure out how to be exciting like F1 is. And I realize that once again, F1's not exciting, but just the commentary crew, man, they just fucking know how to. They just know how to call races.
Yeah, they can make F1 seem exciting, which is crazy.
And I'm sitting there watching fucking Dale Jr. talk, and it's cool. And then he breaks, and then we're just kind of watching. And then Jeff Burton's just kind of sitting there. And it's even more awkward because they got cameras on both of them, and you see them watching the race, but they're not really talking or anything there, and kind of in between. It's just like, fuck, man. It's just like it's so. I don't know. You think it'd be easier, but I guess it's not. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I can't watch this. The broadcast is awful. I'm not saying that. I still watch the fucking race, but it's like, if you're trying to get people, excited and you're trying to get people to watch your sport, like 95% of it is what's being broadcasted to you and getting people excited to watch it. You know what I mean?
Hype it up when somebody runs somebody over. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like that. Self-righteous, like that's why nobody likes IndyCar. It's like like really, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing, man. I don't know what's changed with me, but it's like, okay, I can see like the purist argument for things, but it's like at the end of the day, this is all show business. Same way with any other sport, you know what I mean? Like maybe golf is the purest thing, but like golf I feel like is one of those things that it gets away with what it gets away with because you don't necessarily have to be like an athlete to be good at golf. Like anybody can go pick up a set of golf clubs and go play golf. So everybody can kind of relate to the golf that they're watching on TV.
What does golf get away with?
Get away with like having a fan base just by being a pure thing that's not a show.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all the other sports, like a lot of their shit factors in like TV and viewers and stuff. You know what I mean? Like the NFL, they have commercial things. You just golf is like the only like thing that doesn't give a fuck about TV, and it's kind of boring to watch, but anybody can play golf, and that's why people watch it, because they're like, how the fuck do these guys do it? I go out there and I can't do it. NASCAR and racing, you need to hype it up. Like you need to, if somebody runs somebody the fuck over, hype it up. That don't make it right. Let NASCAR penalize them, but hype it up. Like I don't get it. And everybody, the NASCAR mob mentality pisses me off. They're all going after Gragson now because he wrecks a lot or whatever. And it's like, okay, it's cool. He runs over people. But I mean, shit, we need a villain. Like, I'm not some crazy Gragson fan. And then half the people.
It's funny, too, because everybody shits on Herbst every fucking week.
Yeah, now everybody, like, you
oh,
think
now
Herbst is
you
Jesus.
guys. Yeah, now you guys give a fuck? Now you guys give a fuck about Herbst? Wow, cool. That's great. You didn't give a fuck about him last couple of weeks when he was, I don't know.
Well, I put my meme back out there that I didn't realize till today has a spelling error in it. I put 2 P's in personality, and I spelled time wrong when I tweeted it. But either way, I put it out there. People liked it. And so this is what chaps my ass, too. Woke Twitter, once again, coming at him. They call him like I forget what all they say. They call him sexist, and they say, well, no, sexually harassing women's not a personality. I'm just speaking on the track product. I only know of one instance where I think he accidentally posted something to his Snapchat story. He whistled at a girl while filming at her ass or something. She like had on like a dress or something, and her ass was hanging out, and he whistled at it, catcall. It was lame. Like, I think I called him out on the podcast or Twitter. I called him out somewhere. Either way, it was lame. He was wrong for it. I don't agree with that. But it's all that aside, out there on the track is what I'm talking about. He makes things exciting. When he wins, he gets out, climbs the fence, and pukes. Like, he's just, like he's a bundle of energy. Like, and he got in a fight and threw hands. So it's like, I wish every driver was kind of like that. I don't know, but everybody has to read too much into stuff and get mad. But I don't know. I don't get it. It's just the mob thing. They did it with Stenhouse. They'll do it with Gragson. They'll do it with somebody else. They do it with Truex after he started. Remember when everybody loved Truex? Now everybody hates him.
Yeah, well, it was kind of everybody didn't like. It seemed like a lot of people really didn't care for him, and then he started getting good, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, cool Truex." Then he started winning too much. Everybody's like, "I fuck him again."
Yeah, like it was just I don't know.
Oh, by the way, I already. How long has this video been up? Let me check here. 1 hour and 58 minutes. It took 1 hour and 58 minutes for somebody to comment on my vlog. Where is your mask? I reply on my desk. Where is yours, sir? What else do you want to talk about? Trucks. Did you watch the truck race? Because I sure did.
I had it on, but I didn't pay attention. There wasn't much that happened.
I heard Kyle Busch won, so whoop de fucking do.
Yeah, Christian Eckes though put up a good fight there at the end.
He?
I did see that. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Ah, good. Well, I believe that brings us to picks then for Texas. Unless you have something else you'd like to talk about.
No.
All right. Well then, do you have a pick? I forgot to put the starting lineup in.
Kyle Busch.
Oh, bold fucking prediction there.
I think I picked him at Kentucky, and he fucking sucked.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is kind of a bold prediction because he has sucked at fucking in the Cup Series as of late.
Yeah,
so.
I almost said Harvick because he'll most likely win, but I'm just gonna start saying Kyle Busch till he wins. I think because I hate doing these picks because they always make me seem stupid. Because every time I pick somebody, they suck. So if I just say Kyle Busch, he'll either suck like usual, like he's done this season, or he'll win, and I'll be smart.
Well. Harvick is a good pick. I'll tell you that. Eric Almirola is starting on pole, which means he'll probably lead the first 50 laps, and then we'll never see him again. Ryan Blaney's up there. He'll probably be strong most of the race, but figure out how to lose. Kyle Busch is starting 4th. Harvick's starting 5th. Oof, Denny Hamlin up there too. It's like the same fucking people every week. You could probably pick Blaney, Harvick, Hamlin. Fucking one of those guys. I'll take Kevin Harvick again. I already picked him. I picked him, I think, correctly for one of the races. Was it the Brickyard, I think, or Pocono or something? I don't know. Something like that. So we'll go Kevin Harvick again. Bold predictions out here on the Gas Holes podcast. Let me know who you guys are picking for Texas. The race is going to suck, so yeah.
I probably won't watch it, but I'll probably tune in for the last little bit.
Yeah, I mean, at least tune in for the end. Something stupid might happen, but I respect everybody who's planning on watching it all the way through. I'm probably gonna sleep through most of it, but we'll see how it goes. That's gonna do us. Anything else for you, Travis?
Oh yes, I'd like to read a couple of replies on Twitter I got today.
Oh, all
And see
right.
if we can get an official translation. So I tweeted after the Xfinity race today, as boring as Kyle Busch can make the Xfinity series sometimes, I still appreciate the greatness we're witnessing. 98 wins is an insane accomplishment. So that was his 98th win today.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got taken away. Well, to that tweet, this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but this guy replied to my tweet and said, but at Kyle Busch needs to be in those races when he is a two-time champ now. It's like being in a troll on social media. We don't like it. Any of us on Twitter, you got driving skills, but stay in your conference. It's like Penn State versus Lehigh in football, D1 versus D3. It's almost criminal. Well, I didn't really understand that one.
I can't stand when people fucking compare sports to fucking NASCAR. You fucking
Yeah, I know. But
bastard.
anyway, well, I kind of did it earlier with the showbiz stuff, but that's a complete different thing. Well, anyway, Kyle Busch got DQ'd, so I tweeted out the sad Patrick cowboy thing, saying that was Kyle Busch, and that guy once again followed up to that tweet, and replied, "Ha ha ha, HQ, aha, loving it, 98 wins still, and you want to race agents, rookies, so cheap like a $20 sign hooker at Kyle Busch can win, but got to pick on rookies." And then a gif of a lady saying, "This will knock your socks off." And I don't know how that ties in at all. So I don't know what this guy was on, but those two tweets were the best things I had seen in a long time. So
man,
we can end the podcast now. I just had to. Maybe somebody can decipher those for us.
NASCAR Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you guys enjoyed this week's Gas Holes podcast. We'll be back next Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Be there, be there, be there. We do appreciate everybody listening as always. Don't forget to listen on Spotify as well if you'd rather listen over there. Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Once again, the Moonhead Mailbag. What is it again for next week?
askmoonhead@gmail.com.
There you have it. Once again, we appreciate y'all listening. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see y'all next Sunday.